is Quarterfinals. We're playing against Fanoop on Shops. For some reason, Magic Online does... Oh, now... Why do we now have game logs? That's nutty. For some reason, Magic Online doesn't have the higher seed get play draw, but we do luck out and still get play anyways. And our hand is, you know, Monastery, Mentor, 3 Moxen, Ponder versus Shops. So we win. Man, Monastery Mentor is a dumb Magic card. Oh, also next turn we're going to PO. Alright, so that was game 1. A lot of skill and effort went into me winning that game. Black Lotus Monastery Mentor, though. Oh boy. Alright, game 2. Now we're on the draw versus Shops. This hand is a lot of fast mana, and we do have Flooded Strand Sapphire, too, which is pretty nice. Our opponent's gonna say no and play a Thorn on turn 1. So there will be no brainstorming, because we have to crack for our island, be able to play all of our spells, and we do. We play all of our Moxen. I don't cast Brainstorm here. I don't want to lock myself out yet. Yeah, we actually were able to get a win yesterday off stream. It was pretty dope. Appreciated. And then we get probably our Mana Crypt Revoked. And then a Steel Overseer. So I'm just looking for some action. I have obviously an insane amount of mana, but I need some action. Lose the flip, draw a card, Hurkyl's Recall. That's a good one. Cast Brainstorm, let's see what we're working with here. The reason I cast... Oh, do I not cast Brainstorm? The reason I cast Brainstorm is because if I hit a PO, I want to be able to Hurkyl's and PO off. We do kind of hit a PO. So we scroll, and here's where I make a really huge mistake. I don't know why I did this, and it does cost me the game. I should get PO here. If I didn't have a Hurkyl's Recall, I should get Ancestral. But because I have Hurkyl's Recall in my hand, I already have Hurkyl's Recall. There's no reason for me not to get PO instead. And I don't know why, but I screwed this up really badly, and I grabbed Ancestral, and it's gonna cost me. I know why I did, because I can cast Ancestral this turn. But I'm never going to be able to play any other spells this turn, so I would rather just get PO, untap, and then Hurkyl's and PO off and win the game. But for some reason I blanked, and I got Ancestral, which was just wrong. It was a really bad call, and it's going to cost me the game. I draw 3 blanks, and then I have to pass the turn back. I don't think I played a land that turn, though, so I probably... No, it was turn 2. No, I think I should have played a land drop there. I also didn't play a land drop, maybe? Yikes. So tilted, I don't understand how my own cards work. So, yeah, I choose the wrong Merchant Scroll target, and then I just draw mono lands for the rest of the game and die. So we're not dead yet, don't have to cast Hurkyl's. Play a Sphere, that's really annoying. I end step a Hurkyl's here. Buys me the most time. I don't think casting Hurkyl's on myself, that doesn't work. There's a Thorn of Amethyst in play, Ray. It doesn't cast Blightsteel. There's a Thorn of Amethyst in play. None of my Moxen net mana, besides Mana Crypt, which is revoked. So, really, it all comes down to the fact that I Merchant Scrolled, and I should have gotten PO, but I got Ancestral by accident. Not by accident. It was just a misplay. I got Ancestral, not correct. I don't know why we're stuck here. What the hell's happening? Oh, I don't actually Hurkyl's here? That's kind of interesting. Don't know why I wouldn't have done... I guess I assumed I would have enough mana on my turn. That's still really weird. Alright, so I draw a Force of Will, which is obviously not going to get the job done. And then my client is like completely screwed up right now. It just will not advance. What the hell just happened? I think the client bugged out there. Alright, this is busted. But basically what happens is because I didn't get PO, I just drew blanks because I cast Ancestral and drew 3 blanks. And then for the rest of the game, I didn't draw a single powerful spell or draw spell, so I just died. So then we go to the final game of the quarterfinals. We're on the play versus Shops, and who do we find in our hand? Ooh, it's Ancestral. Okay. This is nice. Let's cast Ancestral and see what happens. Ooh, 2 Moxen. That's nice. Cycle the Moxen. Snap Ancestral. Drew Blightsteel, unfortunate. But also drew PO. Play the key, untap the vault. Play the top, play the Sapphire, PO for 6. Play the key, untap. Play the top. Find a Force of Will. That's an interesting one. Go get the Force of Will. So I bricked out a little bit here. I drew a lot of lands. It was possible for me to play Mentor that turn. Actually, it was not possible for me to play Mentor that turn because I didn't have a white source. So basically, I kind of bricked out on my PO here, but I still ended up with a Force of Will. The problem is I don't really want to pitch either of these 2 blue cards. Urkel's Recall is going to be obviously great against whatever they're doing, and Snapcaster Mage has a PO in the yard, so... Our opponent gets a Lotus, so we actually have a game on our hands. I PO'd for 6 on our first turn, and this is still a game, which is nuts to me. Our opponent gets a Ballista and a Revoker. I make sure to draw with this top, and then they're going to revoke the Voltaic Key. We actually have a tap mana vault, only 3 mana, and we're actually not in like the greatest shape. We're not in bad shape by any means, but we're not in great shape. We can't really snap PO here. But what we can do is play Monastery Mentor and then cast Harkle's Recall just to slow them down. We don't do that though. That's interesting. I would have thought for sure I would do that. Can I backwards? Is there a way to go back? No way to go back. Why did I choose to top instead of casting Harkle's Recall? Oh, I know why. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm looking to find a blue card to use for Force so I don't have to use Snap or Harkle's. At this point, though, like, I should be okay with using Snap. I have a Mentor in play. What I'm actually worried about here is our opponent drawing Ancient Tomb off the top, pumping Ballista, and killing Mentor. I'm a little suspect on if the play I just made here is correct. Obviously, we find another blue spell on top. They cast Ballista on 2, which I have to Force of Will. I do end up pitching... I pitched the Harkle's Recall because I know I have another Harkle's Recall. Then on my turn, I draw with Cruise, and then I Harkle's Recall and kill our opponent. So, I'm not 100% on the way I sequence that, but it's fine. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, right? I think it was better to just Harkle's Recall. But either way, it's going to end up with us winning this game. I think that that's a slight mistake, though. I really do think that I wasn't supposed to spin the top there. What ended up happening was I made an evaluation. at one point in the game that I wanted to not use my Hercules or my Snapcaster as my Force of Will exile card. The problem ends up being I didn't make a reevaluation later in the game. I need to, reevaluate, does that choice that I made still hold true? Do I still care about keeping Hercules and Snapcaster in my hand and not putting them on the Force? And what I think is true is that I don't actually care. Once I have this Mentor in play, why do I need a Snapcaster PO? Like, that's just extra. So I think it's just, I think that might be a little bit of a mistake. I would rather just hold up Hercules Recall and Force of Will than play a top there. So I think that's a mistake. So I'm glad we're doing this. I feel like I've made at least a couple interesting mistakes here that I think going forward are worth noting. This is good. I'm glad.